A handsome looking shot, wasn't it? Fielded on the boundary there by Headley. And that's the end of that over by Bryan, who's taking his sweater. And we've had now, what, 21 overs? 21 overs in just about an hour, so they're well up to the rate that we require as well. And there's the score for the Cavaliers, 97. At the same time, after 21 overs, Worcestershire were 84 for 1. So the Cavaliers still just that nose ahead. But when you remember how Worcestershire went tearing away in the last three-quarters of an hour or so, then clearly the Cavaliers have got to keep scoring runs and scoring them quickly, taking them whenever they can and wherever they can. Slade to Mushtaq. It's going to be quite a finish, Sir Leary.
If this rate, but they might use the pace bowlers a little later on, who should cut down the rate of scoring.
Well, let's take a little bit of a look at this. Now, Flavel has got 4 overs left to him. Each bowler can bowl 9 overs. Coldwell has 5 overs left to him. And Bryan has 3. This is Slade. So if the Cavaliers start galloping away, no doubt Martin Horton will bring back Flavel and Coldwell for the 9 overs that they can bowl between them. Try to contain them. That's Slade there. To Walker. And that's the end of that over. And we're going to have a change of bowling. There's the score. 98 for 2, chasing 220 that Worcestershire made. Cavaliers 98 for 2. Number 3 is Mushtaq. Number 5 is Walker. And it is indeed D'Oliveira to come on to bowl now. This man who delighted us all with a magnificent innings of 50 not out, made in 35¼ minutes. And that really, after a slow and rather hesitant start, he really started clouting the ball around once his timing had improved that little bit. Well, I expect you've got 1 or 2 ideas who might beat that in the 13 matches that are yet to come in our series. There's D'Oliveira's first ball. One can see the likes of Ted Dexter having a crack at it, for example. And later in the series, we hope, of course, to have Gary Sobers playing. No doubt he'll have a go at it as well. But for the moment, it's D'Oliveira to Mushtaq. Oh, a little bit edgy there. But it's 4 runs. D'Oliveira to Mushtaq. Ooh. He moved away from that a little too early, didn't he? And then hadn't the reach to get to it.
The ball was closer to him than he expected.
Ah, he turned that beautifully. It won't go, though. But they'll take 3 for it just the same. Oh, a handsome shot. Beautifully fielded, though, by Martin Horton. That's the end of D'Oliveira's over. Going around the crowd at tea time, the buzz of excitement. People really seem to be enjoying this sort of stuff, don't they?
Yes, and they know the match is going to be finished. So you come to see a game that's finished, you come to see shots made, ingenuity, improvisation. That keeps the game alive. And I love being here myself.
And the great thing is, you know, these boys are playing to win and not to make a fool of the game, really, don't you?
Oh, yes. Beautiful game.
Slade again to Mushtaq. It's a neat one. A little bit of flight there, do you think?
Yes, the ball swung into him while he was driving it through the covers. Hit the inside edge.
Oh, he's hit that one well. Small boy is in some danger on the far side there. Almost on the railway line. We nearly had to call for another ball there. And British Railways perhaps for another train if one had been shuffling through at that point. A fine stroke there by Walker. He tries another one, but without the same success except in terms of runs. And that's really what matters. 4 Pennyworth. The end of that over. 10 runs off the last 2 balls, 11 in all, so that really must surely put the Cavaliers a little further ahead still. There it is, 116 for 2 after 24 overs, and Worcestershire at the same time were 108. D'Oliveira, a very popular figure here at Kidderminster, their professional last season. He's got that one through, past Horton, but not past Flavel. Really, the Cavaliers have got to try to get 5.5 runs per over to stay in the position they're in, which is quite a strong one. And there, looks as though that's 6 of them, is it? There's Headley underneath it. Ah, beautiful catch. Well, you saw that dismissal from beginning to end there. Beautiful catch by Ron Headley just below us, right on the boundary fence there. The end of Peter Walker.
Well, Peter, you want a new bat. He doesn't seem to drive that.
Well, I hit every one of them, as you can see, Brian, right up on the top. I hardly hit one in the middle. But you've got to try and play a few shots to catch up now.
Yeah, you could do jolly well. What's it like out there at the moment?
Well, funny enough, the rain greened it up a bit, which made it much easier for the fast bowlers to bowl. I think that's why we were a bit slower than the other side, because the wicket is not quite so good as it was when we fielded.
Yeah, well, that'll be interesting. I think you're just quickening the other side now.
Well, only just, but I think, don't forget, we bowled a few quite easy ones. When I say easy, we knocked around with the bowling a bit at the end. And there was plenty of good shots, and perhaps we might do the same.
Anyhow, we'll see what your skipper's going to do now.
I'll be interested, very interested. Thank you.
There he is, the aforementioned skipper. Who else? Denis Compton. It's Oliveira to Mushtaq. And the score at the moment, 117 for 3. That's the end of the over. Well, there's one of the gay, adventurous batsmen of our time, Slade.
Yes, if you wanted orthodox cricket, Compton would never have played for England. But if you wanted genius, Compton is genius. Compton was genius. And cricket is not for the orthodox alone. For the man with imagination, with a man with a basic knowledge and a capacity to improvise. Compton.
And there's Slade bowling to him.
I think it would be interesting to watch Compton's feet as Slade bowls to him. Watch his feet.
Well, let's do that. Well, he's off the mark. Surely he's not worried about getting a duck. Slade again wrenching on the ball there. Don Kenyon, the fielder. And this is the last over for Slade. He's had 8 of them already. This is his 9th. Each bowler allowed only 9 overs in these games. He's had 52 runs knocked off him, 53 now. Slade again to Mushtaq. There it is, 118 for 3, the Cavaliers against 220 by Worcestershire. Now, Slade, you asked us to watch Denis's feet now.
If you watch it, you see that he's behind the line of the ball all the time. This one was outside the off stump and he was pushing it somewhere for a single. But watch him, how close to the ball he gets.
Well, he tells me he hasn't had a game for 12 months. I thought he said 12 months, but that surely can't be right. He must have played sometime since last May, but certainly this is the first time he's handled a bat this season. He hasn't had any pre-match warm-ups or anything like this. That's the end of the over by D'Oliveira.
Take a good look at his face. I wonder if you see a family likeness. Well, it's Peter and Dick Richardson's brother, Bryan, who plays for Warwickshire. Bryan, you had a bit of knee trouble, have you?
Yes, I have. I just had a cartilage operation about a month ago, which has caused a little bit of bother, but I hope to be fit starting next week, roughly.
How are those two brothers of yours, all right?
Oh, well, I think, yes.
Are they?
Yes, looking forward to the season very much, I hope.
Good, well, I hope you make lots of runs yourself, Bryan.
Thank you very much indeed.
Okay, back to the play.
Coldwell back. So presumably Martin Horton thinks that the Cavaliers are getting away a little too far ahead, so he's brought Coldwell back to try and check things a little. How do we stand? 118 for 3 after 27 overs, and at the same time Worcestershire were 140 for 1. So Worcestershire are now well ahead on the scoring, and this corresponds to a burst of scoring by Ron Headley during his innings. So Worcestershire are ahead, so the Cavaliers must get their runs quickly, and no doubt Horton is aiming to keep Worcestershire in command by giving Coldwell, who gives nothing away, another bowl. And Coldwell can have how many more overs? 5 more. 4 after this one. Here he comes again. Oh, Mushtaq's got that one away beautifully, and it'll be 4 runs. It's the 7th 4 by Mushtaq in his innings of 46. 28 out of 46 in boundaries. Coldwell again to the crouching Mushtaq. Oh, and he's got that one away. But no, he... just a single to Flavel. Now, this will be a little quicker for Denis if his eye is not in. If this, in fact, is the first time he's handled a bat this season, this could well find him out. Coldwell to Compton. Oh, a cheeky one there. That was really a shot on second thoughts, wasn't it?
Yes, he held it back, and Compton's timing was so good, he just patted it down, although it was wide off the off stump. It's like riding a bicycle, you never forget.
That's the end of that over.
Yes, yes. When Mushtaq made that shot, it brought our minds back to Kanhai. And Kanhai used to sit flat on his backside and hit the ball for 6. Beautiful shot. Compton again taking from D'Oliveira. Quite sure you can't just come back like this and be in form, but nevertheless Compton is playing the ball in the middle of the bat.
It sounds pretty sweet too, doesn't it?
Oh yes, yes. A little practice and he can make his 100 still.
Oh, he's going to be out. Caught by Flavel. There he is, the man who scored more runs than any other cricketer here today, but not enough really for the sake of Cavaliers. And that's the score at the moment, 124 for 4.
Yes, you're very good at explaining about other people's strokes to viewers when you commentate with me. Will you explain that stroke to them now and what happened?
Well, I hope there weren't very many people viewing on BBC Two at the time.
What went wrong?
It was meant to go over the top, but I think my strength had run out.
Yeah. Well, at least this is proof that this match is quite genuine, because otherwise they'd have dropped you so the crowd could see you make a few more.
It's very genuine, Bryan, yes. Now I need some practice.
Are you still confident you can win?
I think we're very pushed now. Yeah. Somebody's got to go quite mad. Like that, because the ball is moving and seaming out there quite a bit.
Here come the excuses. Anyhow, you played jolly well.
Thank you.
And will that somebody who's got to go mad, as Denis says, will that man be this fellow here? Mike Smith, England skipper, only recently back from a tour of South Africa when he did himself and English cricket so much good. Here he is to face up to D'Oliveira. Oh, it's a nice looking shot. Stroked. It wasn't hit. It was stroked, wasn't it, Slade?
Beautiful strokes, like patting your favorite dog on the back, you know.
Here he goes again, the dog patter. All this with a huge blister on his right palm, which he received mowing his lawn yesterday, he tells me. And that's the end of that over. The clouds beginning to roll up again, but I think they're high enough to keep the rain away for another 40-odd minutes anyhow. "29 overs gone, 11 to go for the Cavaliers, 11 overs left, 128 for 4, and at the same time Worcestershire were Ooh. 142 for 2 were the Worcestershire batsmen at the same time, with 11 overs to go, and the Cavaliers are 128 for 4. Ooh, moved that one into Mushtaq. It's hard to see who's going to get the runs for the Cavaliers at the moment. Who is going to go mad for them?
Smith can go mad, you know that.
Ross Salmon, who's been using all his fingers and thumbs and goodness knows what else to work it out, says that the Cavaliers in fact have got to get 92 to draw, to tie, 92 to tie in 11 overs. So now their rate has gone up to something like 8 point something per over from 5.5. So they've got to get the big stick out mighty quick now. Coldwell to Mushtaq. How do you get the big stick out to Coldwell?
I'll make a suggestion with the wicketkeeper standing back. Walk down the pitch and see what happens.
Last ball of Coldwell's over, his 6th over, so he has 3 left after this. Here he comes to Mushtaq. Turns that nicely. Horton going for it. Will they risk a second? They're risking a second. It's going to be very close, but Mushtaq home because Horton's throw wasn't all that it ought to have been. It's the end of the over. There we are, 130 for 4. Number 3 is Mushtaq, needing 1 for his 50 now. And number 4, Mike Smith. Coldwell 6 overs and he's conceded only 15 runs. Flavel 5 overs and he conceded only 14 runs. So that's why the Cavaliers are up against him. That's why Smith here has got to do so much about it. D'Oliveira coming into Mike Smith of Warwickshire. We're really out of the realms of short singles now, Slade, aren't we? It's big hitting that's needed.
Oh yes, short singles won't do it now.
That's his 50. Plenty more 50s in that bat too. But not nearly fast enough for the sake of the Cavaliers at this moment. That's the end of the over there from D'Oliveira. The over, 133 for 4 against 220.
Well, John Murray, the next man in. Slade just now said that the batsman perhaps should go down the wicket a bit with the wicketkeeper standing back to Len Coldwell. Are you going to do that?
I think that's a good recommendation, Bryan, if you want to get it in the teeth.
But you've got to try and push the scoring rate along a little bit. What do you think? What are you going to do about it?
I think we might try and unsettle their length a bit by doing this, probably going down the wicket to 1, you know, and then getting back and hoping they'll drop one short and then probably cut it or hook it. Try and unsettle their length a bit. I think, you know, use the Compton method.
Right, well, I hope you do.
Horton bowling now. And Smith has given him, what, 4 there? Through the covers. It won't go, though. Headley chasing it and catching it. They'll take 2. Oh, powerful throw, but not as accurate perhaps as it might have been. But Elliott was as acrobatic as he should have been. A little bit of cunning temptation here, I think, Slade, don't you?
Yes, and I think he's giving him a bit of a chance.
No mean bowler, of course, Horton. He took 43 wickets last season. He's taken 744 in his career. Oh, and nearly 745. Well, here's a man using his feet. Perhaps we can have a look at Smith's feet in just a moment. There you see it. And there you see the result. Alas. Well, it's a risk they had to take. It's a risk the Cavaliers have got to take. There goes Mike Smith. Well, that really must put them behind. Ross Salmon is scribbling furiously here. At this point, Worcestershire were 160 for 2.
Like both you and Denis chose the wrong club. You held out each time.
Experimenting with the other side of the wicket, Bryan, I think.
It's a bit difficult to score off these two, isn't it?
I think they're bowling pretty well. Very tight, yes. We've got to push it on, obviously, this stage of the match.
Yeah. Now, what about this hand of yours or something? You've got some awful blister from mowing the lawn, is it?
Yes, that's very sad. Shouldn't do any gardening in April, I think.
Has it affected your batting today?
It's just a bit sore, but there's nothing wrong with it, so I shall be all right.
Good. Any tips for Warwickshire for the knockout or the championship this year?
No, we make no forecast, you know. We think we might have a fair season if have a bit of luck. Everything goes for us.
I think everybody needs the luck, don't they? Good. Thank you, Mike.
Thank you, Warren.
John Murray. Now let's see if he will use his feet, if he has a chance to face Coldwell. See if he'll take Sir Leary's advice there. So what it amounts to now is that the Cavaliers want 85 runs in about 8 overs. Nice little pull there by Mushtaq. Now here's John Murray. Well, it's not Coldwell bowling to him, but let's see if he can use his feet to D'Oliveira. He just leaned on that one, didn't need to use his feet. Last ball of D'Oliveira's over coming up. Too little Mushtaq on 51. And still on 51. Seven overs to go, 83 runs needed. So now it needs not someone to go mad, but two someones to go mad. 83 needed in 7 overs. Martin Horton to bowl to John Murray. I'm a little surprised that someone hasn't started flinging the bat about a bit more, Sir Leary.
Yes, I thought he'd begin straight away. That's the only chance. Unless he does, there's no chance of winning this match at all.
Well, that was swinging the bat all right. It's brought him a single. Single to Murray. 138 the score. For 5 wickets. And fly to Worcestershire's 220.
I think even Mushtaq has given it up. Those balls were pitched up. He's given up trying to make the runs, as Mushtaq. Those balls were pitched up, and surely he could take a gamble. He's been there for a long time. He's the man to do it.
There we are. That's the state of the parties at the moment. The Cavaliers 138. Number 7 is John Murray. Number 3 is Mushtaq. And there he is. Why does he look so worried, Sir Leary? D'Oliveira to Mushtaq. Oh, a great shot. A great shot.
The shots are there. He needs the effort.
Well, I can only repeat, the shots are there. And he's finding the effort.
Yes, but he played about 2 overs before that without making an effort to get the ball away, and therefore threw away what chances he had.
How much does the mental effort come into this? When a player is bogged down, he can't see the way out. Does he give up mentally?
Well, it's his intelligence now to take the calculated risk. That's what matters.
Oh, that was a shorter one, and he's played it on. Again, it seemed to be a little closer to him than he thought, and he chopped it down. And after looking so worried for so long, he at last gives us a smile. They are 147 for 6. The Cavaliers needing 220. Time and the overs running out on them pretty fast now.
Well played, Mushtaq. A jolly good innings.
Thank you very much.
I was saying just now, you looked worried the whole time, but you smiled for the first time when you were out.
Quite unusual, wasn't it?
Mushtaq, you are qualifying for Northants now. When will you be free to play for them in the championship?
Still have to go one more year, you say. Next year, probably, yes, if I am selected.
You'll be selected, all right. What are you doing in the meanwhile? Are you working?
Well, I worked at the British Timkins during last winter. I don't know what I'm doing next winter, you know. I might go home for a little while, come back again.
But we shall see you a lot on these Sunday matches, I hope, won't we?
Yes, I'm playing quite a few matches.
Good, well, I hope you'll always play as well as you did today.
Thank you very much.
Thanks, Mushtaq.
Thanks.
And the next man, there he is, taking guard, Freddie Titmus, the Middlesex skipper, one of the great little professionals in the game now. D'Oliveira bowling to him, lofting it a bit there. 59 runs to Mushtaq. 147 at the end of this over. 147 to the Cavaliers for 6 wickets. 2 Middlesex men now. Fighting a lost cause. But looking cheerful about it, and that's something. 147 the score with 6 wickets down. And how many overs now to go? 5 overs to go. And 74 needed to win. You ever known that sort of hitting, Sir Leary? 5 overs, 74 runs. Horton bowling to Murray. Oh, and he's given that a fair thwack. Is he going to be caught? Almost caught there. Just goes out of Bryan's hands. Well, they got 35 in their last 2, the Worcestershire boys. But have you ever known scoring of this rate? What did we say? 5 overs and 73 it was, wasn't it, at the start of the over? Can you recall hitting like that, Sir Leary?
Oh, it has been done. I remember Amar Singh making 133 minutes in Bombay in 1934. So it can be done.
Titmus off the mark there with that little prod. It's not prods that we want now. And this is Kidderminster, not Bombay. That's a fine sweep by Murray there. 4 runs. Beautiful piece of fielding by Kenyon. But he's not out. It's the end of the over.
This was obviously a young man's game. He got there.
A not so young man who made them hurry for it, though.
It was a beautiful throw, wasn't it?
D'Oliveira to Murray. Oh, a great hit. It's going to be 6, and someone's car is going to go under the hammer there as Murray sweeps beautifully there. A 6 off D'Oliveira. Murray looking there, perhaps thinking I'll put another one there right now. Perhaps he didn't hit the car he meant to. That's 4 pennyworth and a beautiful shot there. Straight drive, beautiful one. Well, can they do it now? That's 10 off the last 2 balls. Can they still do it? There's Murray again. This is the spirit. But only a single from that one. He's trying for a second one, but Titmus is a little too slow taking his first one. One of the elementary rules of run making, I remember from school days, you always take your first one quickly, Slade.
And if you can't hit, give the other fellow the batting.
Well, how many runs off that over, Ross? 11 off that over, taking the score to 169. Number 7, John Murray. Number 8, Freddie Titmus. 3 overs left. Smiles all round when there's not much to smile about so far as the Cavaliers situation is concerned. They need, what, 52 from 3 overs.
Bryan, it could be done, but Titmus mustn't take any of the bowling.
Well, here's the man who can do it, and he's going to get, what, 1 for that? 2 for that? It looks as though they're going to take 3. No. Yes, they're taking 3. Well, that really isn't very sensible, is it? Because Murray is getting his eye in and hitting the ball well, and now Fred Titmus, only just in, has got to face the bowling. That really wasn't very sensible.
You want 4s, not 1s now.
Well, Titmus is doing his best, but Horton was equal to that one. Well, you don't even get singles, do you? Titmus bowled there by Horton.
Tactical error.
There it is, 172 for 7. Well, it's in the bag, isn't it, lads, eh? It must be in the bag, surely.
There's a bit of a lost cause, wasn't it, out there?
Yes, unfortunately, Bryan, I got the best ball of the match.
You reckon that was a very...
Yes.
Could you tell us what it did?
Well, it sort of swung away a little bit late, nipped back quickly off the pitch.
And kept low too, didn't
Kept
it?
a bit low, yes.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you know, I was...
Jolly bad. No, otherwise
Yeah,
you might have been man of the match.
I was. That's what I was going for, actually.
Seriously, one thing which I know people would like to know about from your own mouth, your shoulder, which gave a little bit of trouble in South Africa. How is it for this season?
Fit. Very fit, I hope, anyway.
You do. Jolly good. Well, I hope you get lots of wickets.
Thank you very much.
And runs, too.
Yeah.
And the man replacing Titmus, young Keith Boyce from Barbados, qualifying for Essex. Oh, and he's got the right idea, but he's going to be caught by Headley. He's out. Well, the spirit was willing, but the eye was weak. A dreary tale for the Cavaliers, but Martin Horton having a good benefit.
Bad luck, Keith, but that was a nice sort of stroke to play. Do you like playing cricket like that?
Yes.
Tell us, where did you go in for Barbados when you played for them?
At number 4.
Number 4. And do you like hitting the ball hard?
Yes.
What do you think of this English weather? Do you find it a bit cold?
Yes.
You do?
Yes.
All right, well anyhow, I hope you qualify for Essex and you make lots of runs.
Thank you.
Righto, Keith.
Thank you.
The cause is coming to its end. As I said, a fine benefit for Martin Horton, though. 62 runs and 3 wickets. 3 wickets. Here he comes again to Tom Cartwright. Well, it was a brief stay by young Keith Boyce. He's qualifying for Essex and tells me that in winter he hopes to be playing football for Southend United as a goalkeeper. Horton to Murray. Oh, and there's a hard hit by Murray over mid-on to a little boy down in the crowd. 4 more to Murray. Well, he still finds something to laugh about, doesn't he? Cartwright being fooled there by that ball from D'Oliveira. And this is D'Oliveira's last over. He's bowled 8, this is his 9th. Oh, a good healthy clout that one. But Bryan will stop it and stop it well. Caught it beautifully on the bounce there and a fine throw. So what might well have been 4 to Cartwright was 1. D'Oliveira then to Murray. One ball and 1 over now to come. And clearly Worcestershire are going to be the winners. There's Murray making a gesture anyhow. 4 runs. The end of D'Oliveira's over. There we are, 182 with 1 over left. Does that make what? 39, doesn't it? 39. Now, you've never known that, Sir Leary. Come on.
No, even if they get 6 sixes, they don't get. Oh, yes, they must make the gesture.
Always
They
a
must
chance
make
of
the
overthrows,
gesture.
aren't they?
Yes, make a gesture.
Here comes Horton anyhow to Cartwright. Oh, he's clouted that one well. 4 runs. The man defending his card out there. There he is, a happy man tonight, a grand servant of Worcestershire, Martin Horton. Now being healthily clumped to all parts of the ground. 2 successive 4s there by Cartwright. Three more balls of this match remaining. Oh, nearly a catch there. Two balls left. Six Pennyworth. A fine 6, and I think he may at last have got one onto the railway line. Well, he has, but we're not wasting time. On comes another ball for the last ball of the game. And there it comes. There we are. It's all over. Worcestershire, the winners by 23 runs. Well, that's been a fine afternoon. 4 hours cricket and over 400 runs. 197. Murray and Headley there. Tom Cartwright on Murray's right. Slade, any thoughts about that?
Yes, I think it was a good cricket match. It was a cricket match where the scoreboard dictated the tactics, yet there was a little bit missing in between Mushtaq and somebody else when the score was not pushed on fast enough. Otherwise, it was a real first-class effort.
Well, now we have a Man of the Day award, which comes from Rothmans of Pall Mall, who are co-sponsors of this tournament. And we had 6 members of the public who couldn't decide amongst themselves. They chose Ron Headley and Basil d'Oliveira. They couldn't separate them, so Slade, Constantine and myself, we had the casting vote, and we went for Basil d'Oliveira. And now this little presentation is to be made by Sir Tatton Brenton, the MP for Kidderminster. So here's the award that's to go to d'Oliveira, but the BBC are also making various awards at the end of this series. The award for the fastest 50 scored in any one of the series of televised matches, and of course that at the moment stands to d'Oliveira as well, 50 in 35 and a quarter minutes. There's also an award for the best bowling performances in any one of these matches, an award for the highest number of catches made in any one of these matches, and an award for the highest number of wicket-keeping victims in any of these matches. Applause for d'Oliveira. And what better moment for him? Former Kidderminster professional, South African, who's making his first full season now with Worcestershire, having qualified for them, and a fine start to him. And this is what Worcestershire did today. They scored 220 for 4 wickets after 40 overs. Fine innings by Horton, as we said. Good ones also by Headley and d'Oliveira. D'Oliveira particularly aggressive. 3 sixes and 5 fours in that 50 of d'Oliveira's. And 2 beautiful catches by Walker, emphasising once again that he really is in the top rank amongst our close to the wicket fielders. And now the international Cavaliers bowling today. Cartwright, another man who gives away nothing, as economical and as efficient as ever. 9 overs there, 4 maidens, 24 runs and 3 wickets. 3 good wickets too, the wickets of Kenyon, Horton and Headley, the first 3 in the order. Now they're the wickets to get, aren't they? Mushtaq, the other wicket taker, 1 for 36 there. And now the international Cavaliers batting. Mushtaq, top scorer there with 59. And Murray adding a little bit of fire to the end of the day with a 41. Denis Compton, unfortunately, out for 2 there. Atkinson, 41. He got off to a slow start, but he started hitting and having his little bit of luck with it. He made 41 there. And there we are. Time for the crowd at least to go home. And now we have the Worcestershire bowling. And not really enough credit there for Flavel and Coldwell, who pinned down this Cavaliers batting, as you can see. Flavel conceding only 14 runs in 5 overs. Coldwell conceding only 15 runs in 6 overs. And then when the Cavaliers became desperate for runs, and they needed them so badly, then it was the likes of D'Oliveira and Horton with their spin who tempted them and finally made them succumb. And for the fastest 50 awards now after the first match, there he is, D'Oliveira, the man who's just been given this award, the Man of the Day award. There you are, that's the target that they've all got to chase. 35.25 minutes, followed by Headley with 46.5. And I wonder who in the country is going to beat 35.25. We shall know in the coming weeks, in the 13 matches that we've yet to play in this series. And I dare say you've got one or two ideas of the sort of people who might well. And next season our little circus moves on to, well, the next week our little circus moves on to Nottingham to play a Nottinghamshire 11, the Cavaliers against the Nottinghamshire 11. And this match, of course, also will be brought to you in full, all the excitement, all the strokes. I, unfortunately, from that point of view, won't be there. I shall be in Yugoslavia with the England soccer team, but I'm quite sure you'll have a thoroughly enjoyable afternoon's cricket, but don't always believe all that O'Leary tries to tell you. So there we are with Worcestershire having a fine win to start their season as champions. That just about wraps it up from Kidderminster. From Kidderminster then, goodbye to you all.